Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. What a beautiful morning today. It is March 25th. It's Monday, and we are about an hour and a half away from the dyno. I woke up early, just finished washing Blacklyn up. She's looking pretty black. Big Blue's on his way he's gonna tow me from here to Pinky's. Actually, I need to remove this before I leave here soon. Just wanted to show you guys what's up before we hit the dyno. We're ready, baby. We're ready. Let's go. If this blows up on the dyno, well, at least she's washed. At least we'll look clean doing it. No, I really have high hopes that nothing happens because I'm actually very nervous, as always. Quick little pit stop to get some fuel. About to top off the tank. Sheesh. Shout out to Big Blue. Damn, that's a sick setup at the Black Cummins with Blacklyn. Sick. Let's put some fuel in her. Sheesh, she's rolling down. Rolling down. Nice. Looks good. It's a beautiful day. You guys know where we're at. We're at the Pinky Tune Proving Grounds. We're about to see what she's gonna make in the dyno. Have kind of a plan that I'm gonna tell Pinky, and I hope he's okay with it. So since this engine has 0 break-in time, I'm gonna see if maybe we can tune it to about 4,000 RPM and then let me put some street miles on it and then come back. Or just gradually, right, with every pull, just gradually increase the RPM until we get to the red line. So like the first pull maybe go to like, I don't know, 4,000, and the next pull, right, 5,000, the next pull 5,500, and the next pull 6,000, and the next pull 6,500, right? That way it just kind of breaks in the engine a little bit. I mean, we have like 10 minutes worth of idle time on this engine, so. And you know me, I'm very nervous. We spent a lot of money, a lot of time on this build, and I would just hate for something to happen. But hey, that's racing, that's horsepower, that's high performance. You know how it is. It gets ugly sometimes. It can get ugly. But right now, it's looking pretty. Man, I should have brought a rag so I can just wipe this baby down, man. Damn. Should have brought a rag so I can wipe it down. But man, she's looking pretty, right? This car really needs like a one-step polish. If anybody knows how to one-step polish, let me know. I want this car looking black and wet. The meats, bro. This car has some meats from the back. Look at the meats. Well, you can't really see because of the sun. Thanks, sun. Hit 'em up. Best jerk chicken in the valley. Hands down. I tried it yesterday. All right, so we're waiting on Pinky for once. I'm waiting on him, and he's not waiting on me because I'm usually late. Let's get it. Take 2, since the neighbors are so noisy over there, they don't even let me film an intro. So, we're here at Pinky Tune spot. We got Blacklyn on the dyno right now. Let's see what she makes. I suspect somewhere between 450 to 500 rear wheel horsepower. Now that's very conservative, and that's a very basic setup we have here. This is a 426 stroker, so pretty much a built bottom end with a stock top end, a cold air intake, and a straight pipe exhaust. Like, it's super simple on 91 octane. Nothing is ported or polished. Like, it's super super basic setup. This is as basic as it gets right now. Client hit me up and said he wanted it built for boost. Well, the engine blew up. It was rebuilt somewhere else. He wanted to build for boost, so we went ahead and satisfied that. It's built for boost. This setup can handle probably about 1,000 to 1,200 horsepower max. No more than that before it blows up again. But I think with the supercharger, we could probably push it a good safe 800 wheel horsepower. So we're gonna see what she makes today on the dyno. It's either gonna go or it's gonna do the opposite of that and blow. It is smoking out the exhaust just a little bit, but I believe that's because the engine is not broken in yet. We have about like 10 minutes of idle time, so the engine is not broken in yet. So we're gonna take this a little smooth, right? Try and break it in a little bit on the dyno, but we're here to send it, so stay tuned, guys. This is gonna be a good one. This car vibrates and shakes ridiculously. Look, you can see it shaking and vibrating. It's funny. Chopping, boy. Alright guys, here's an update. Not a good update. We need a pump. So Pinky said the pump's not working good, which I'm not surprised. The car did sit for a really long time with 91 octane in the tank, so that pump's probably not providing the juice needed to the fuel rail that we need to make it work. It has enough fuel for idle, but doesn't have enough fuel to kind of get the juice going. So I'm gonna go ahead and replace the pumps. I'm gonna change both of them out. Screw it, YOLO. Replacing both pumps today. See if we can get back on the rollers later. All right, guys, I got the two pumps swapped out. The one on the driver's side looked like it had been replaced before. It was kind of new. The one on the passenger side, as you can tell by these hoses, look kind of crusty and musty and dusty. So, look at my hand. I look like I've aged 200 years just by having my hand inside the fuel for an extended period of time. Look at my hand. The texture looks like the brick wall. I can probably sand down this brick wall with my hands. Anyways, the point is, so O'Reilly's sells two different style driver side pump. They sell the one that flows like 40 something liters per hour, and then they sell one that flows 80 liters per hour. You can easily mistake them. They look exactly the same. One's different. One's Precision, the other's Master Pro. So make sure you look at that when you're swapping. The dealer would have been way too ridiculously expensive for pretty much the same thing. It wouldn't even have made sense. So went the O'Reilly's route, replaced both of them because I didn't know which one was bad or which one was dying. So we just went ahead and got both. That way there's no more excuses. And if there's something else going wrong, we're gonna have to go back to the drawing board. But this was, well, there's one brand new one. And the other one is down there. It's all wet because I poured water in this area since so much. I filled up the tank this morning, so when I took out the pump, the fuel just overflowed and made a huge mess. So I poured a bunch of water down here so it can kind of dilute the amount of fuel that has this ran wherever the hell it's ran. That way we don't catch this thing on fire. So I'm about to fire it up here, and if it works, well, thank the Lord. What is going on over here? My car tuned so I can go home. Let's go. Welcome back to day 2 of messing with this little pestering deal here we have going on. So I replaced both fuel pumps, right? Now we have all the fuel pressure. Good. Fuel, check. Now you need fuel, air, spark, right? We know we have air. Throttle body's functioning. Intake is there. Intake manifold's there. No vacuum leaks. Next thing we have to resort to is spark. So, for the sake of saving money, I went through all 8 of the factory ones that were on here and chose the best one. There was only 4, and then I got the remaining 4 from O'Reilly's. You can see the blue streak, right? Well, I don't think that was a good idea now. right? Seemed like a good idea at the time, and now I'm like, you know what? I got 8 Mopar Hellcat ones. So, we're going to replace that. And we should be solid. Also, I'm going to replace this ignition coil capacitor right here. That one. And I'm also going to make sure my ground is real clean, because we want to have all the ground. And since the coils are out, I'm going to inspect the plugs, see how they are, and just depends how they look. They should look good, right? We haven't really ran this much at all. It's just been idle time more than anything. So, let's get to it. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe we have found our problem. I don't know what this is, but it was inside of here. Inside number 2 here. And there. So I'm checking to make sure all the spark plugs are tight, even though I know they're all tight. But just double checking, and I'm glad I am, because this is how I found this problem. And I put my socket on there, my spark plug socket, and it's just like it's not going on. It's, you know, it just feels weird. And then if I pull it out, I pull the spark plug socket out, and this is like this little rubber piece is in there. Now the spark plug socket has a rubber piece in there that kind of hugs the spark plug as you're pulling it out. But this one has, you know, that little extra piece is not part of my socket. So I took it out, and yeah, that was inside there. How that got in there, what this is from, this isn't from the coil. I don't even know how that got in there. It doesn't seem to be from the coil or nothing. Maybe the old coil that was on there, but it's weird. Anyways, yeah, this is why. Whew. This is why we gotta double check. Oh my gosh. So, of course, you always want to run a camera through everything. Right, everything looks good. Nothing seems to have anything else in it. Sheesh. There they are. 8 Mopar ignition coils. Whoo, we're gonna have all the spark, all the. I mean, it sounded kind of more like an injector, but we're gonna have all the spark. I love these. So let's go ahead and fire this up. I'm super excited. Wait, actually, yeah, I'm gonna change the nut on that ground and just kind of freshen up that ground with some Scotch-Brite, and then we'll fire it up. Now that I'm 100% sure that she's gonna run solid, I am super excited. I mean, if she sounded crazy good before, imagine it only sounded crazy good because it had a misfire. Imagine if it sounds stock now. No, now that I know it's gonna have an amazing running engine, 8 new coils. We got that little piece of rubber that was stuck in there. That was probably from like another spark plug socket I have. Cheap China. I'm nervous, even though I know it's gonna run better. I'm not sure what file it's on. It was a long night. We got out of here at like 3:30 in the morning, me and Pinky. Anyways, get it. Oh my gosh, she fired right up. Coils. Let's go, baby. Damn, she sounds crazy good now. Well, I turned her off, but then I guess if we're gonna be on the rollers here shortly, within an hour or two, then I should probably give her a little warmth in the engine. So let's fire her back up. Man, she fires right up. Ridiculous of me, I swear. Hey guys, this just proves that sometimes you need to humble yourself, because you may be the one that's wrong, not the tuner, not the parts, you. So it's always good to question even yourself and figure out the problem, diagnose it correctly, and get to the bottom of it. There's always gonna be something wrong, right? If something's wrong, something is wrong, and you gotta find that. Blue's Clues. Found it though, right? It's hot up in here. And it's because of this chop. Bro. She's running so good, I swear. It's crazy. The spark plugs were black, so it's definitely over fueled. It is running a little rich, but we're barely getting started here. So those spark plugs will look crispy by the time the tune is over, and I will verify that by pulling one out myself. What a beautiful setup here we have, ladies and gentlemen. What a beautiful setup. I just can't get enough of this. That check engine light is about, and she kind of has like that lean, well, what we think is a lean pop, but around right there. Yep, we're going to have to hook up the what's it called? The VCM scanner, the live data, so we can go ahead and record some information and then figure it out from there. Ladies and gentlemen, it's day 3 of trying to figure out what's wrong with Blacklyn. Yesterday we didn't get much time spent here because Pinky was out doing some tuning elsewhere, so I didn't have access. But now I'm here early in the morning. Let's figure out what's going on. We're gonna figure out what's going on. So yesterday, when I found the piece of rubber stuck in the spark plug tube, I was so sure like that was gonna be it. Like, how could that not be our problem? Totally spark failure, right? But I never thought about checking the plug that was affected, right? That plug that had that little rubber boot in it stuck from my spark plug tool. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna pull out all the plugs right now and get a good reading of all the plugs so I can narrow it down to something. Because right now I don't have a check engine light, I don't have misfired, any active misfires, right? I don't know what's going on. Electronically speaking, I don't know what's going on. I just know that we have something's breaking up, right? So I'm gonna pull out all the plugs and we're gonna get a good reading of every single individual cylinder and go from there. So I just found something very interesting, and I don't know why I found this because I've never found this on any cars I've done before. And this isn't really a failing point, so I'm not sure why this is happening, but let me show you guys. So I pulled out number 3 ignition coil, and if you guys can see, wow, I'm zoom in. You see right there, there's like a little puddle of oil or water or something, right? There's a little puddle of something, and then you look down into the hole, and it's like, look down into that hole, it's kind of wet. So this spark plug tube seal is leaking, which is weird because none of the other ones are leaking. And I replaced every single seal and gasket on this entire engine. So I wonder, is the valve cover? One thing I'm noticing is that you see how I can see more meat this side of the circle than this side. Maybe the valve cover needs to be shifted this way slightly. Maybe I just need to get all new seals, or maybe I just need to get a new valve cover or some new bolts. I don't know, because I've never had this problem before. So yeah, I'm wondering if maybe this is a bad valve cover, because there's no way it's a bad seal. I'm gonna have to pull the valve cover off anyways, but there's no way it's a bad seal. I mean, I've never seen these fail. It's just a valve cover spark plug seal. Like, it's nothing special. But I'm gonna pull this plug out. I'm gonna pull all the plugs out, and then let's see what's going on here. So I pulled the plugs out of that wet cylinder, and this is how the plug looks. As you can see, we have some oil here, right, and here, and here. But what doesn't make sense is that this little amount of oil, even though this is a problem that we have now found, this isn't. I don't think this is the problem, because everywhere where it makes contact, everywhere where it's important, is dry. Like here, well, you can see it's all black, which means the car's been running really rich, but it's not oil fouled, that's just fuel. And over here where the ignition coil connects to, right, the spring where it arcs right here, is dry. So it's like, even though yes, this is the problem, I don't think that is our problem. And it's weird how this one has some really dark oil on it, and this one had some nice oil that's clean on it. That doesn't make sense, because the oil in this car is not dark. It does not look like that. It does not look like that. And it's impossible for anything to be coming back up through the plug, right, and going this way, because we can see the oil leak starts here and runs down. So all the spark plugs have one thing in common. They're all overfueling. Well, they're all showing signs of overfueling, right? Indication that the vehicle is running rich. There's no broken electrodes, no cracked porcelains, nothing weird or bent or out of shape. The only thing that was abnormal out of all these plugs and coils was number 3 here. So you can see the coil has some streak of oil right there, little oil. And the spark plug, as I had just shown you guys, was a little wet. Now, I don't think this is our problem, because the important places where it makes contact to spark were not wet. Therefore, I don't think this is our issue. But it's a issue now that I have to address, that I am bamboozled by, because I don't understand why this is happening. I think Blacklyn is just putting up a damn fight. Oh, it's all good. It's gonna be sweet glory once we get this baby Sherry off. All right, so I think I should probably take off the injectors now and have them sent out to be tested. Now, these are super low mile Hellcat injectors, or Hellcat red eye injectors, I don't remember. But the point is that they're super low miles. They may have sat on the shelf though for maybe too long, and maybe the ethanol inside the fuel kind of clogged them up, or maybe there's one stuck open. I don't know, but I need to find out what's going on here. So yeah, so I just had the injectors flow tested at Outlaw Race Engines. Shout out to them, by the way. They did it on the spot. I walked in, the dude walked up, put it in the machine, they all tested perfect. So, you know, it's a good thing they all tested perfect, but now it's like, what else is it? Driving me nuts. Freaking driving me nuts here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these injectors back on, because we know it's not the injector. And yeah, we'll keep on getting it. Now you may have seen Hellcat injectors before and be like, well, this one doesn't look like the one I have. Well, that's because this injector, they started using it in 2021. So 21 to 24, this is the Hellcat injector that they used. Prior to 21, right, 20 and below, there was a different style injector that has a different body, but it's the same length and all. All right, I guess I'm installing them, and let's keep going, baby. We're not giving up, so this baby's on the dyno running perfect. I think I found the problem, and I haven't even found the problem yet. After replacing the valve cover, which I needed to because this freaking seal is leaking. And I was not, like, I don't understand how the seal would be bad. I feel like the valve cover may have a hairline fracture somewhere that I'm not seeing. So I put the By the way, this is discontinued. The 08, the 06 through 10 is discontinued, but you get a valve cover from any earlier Mopar. They're all the same. They should all work. And I say that right now because I haven't finished installing it, but watch it not work. That'd be hilarious. But I think my issue here is my spark plug gap. And you ask, well, why didn't you check that first? Well, because I didn't think that was the issue. That's why. They're gapped to 0.050 inches. I just looked up the spec and I realized that the software I'm using, Mitchell Pro Demand, messed up. They have two different specs on two different parts of the software, and one says 0.050 and one says 0.043. Well, I never seen that 0.043 one just till now. I just seen that 0.050. So I'm gonna gap these down to 0.040. And we're gonna send it, and this is gonna work, guys. This is gonna work so good. That 0.050 gap is for the 2.7 liter V6. This is a 7.0 liter V8, guys. Come on, get it together, Josue. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got the spark plugs gapped, coils installed, valve cover replaced. If this works, I want everybody to go in the comments down below and comment goofy hustlers. Oh, Lord, let it be your will. Nervous. This is a race car life. I'm not gonna hit the gas, just bam. That was a pretty good fire up here. Exhaust is burning clean. If you remember, it used to blow a lot of black smoke, and it used to smoke a lot from the exhaust, but also when it blew up, if you remember, there's so much oil in the exhaust still from when it blew up and from how rich it's running too. Smile, baby, life is precious. Yeah. Woo! Running good. She's running dialed. So before, I used to, slightly rev it, and it would break up at any given moment. She didn't. Obviously, she's not running perfect. We still need to put it on the dyno, but it's way better. That's it for today. We'll be back tomorrow. It's another beautiful morning here. I couldn't sleep all last night just thinking about Blacklyn here, and yeah, I missed her. I also couldn't stop thinking about the fact that those plugs were fouled and now the oil smells like fuel. So I was like, you know what, I have to, like, how can I not? So I have me some fresh oil change, some fresh plugs. We're gonna get these gaps thrown in record time. You guys have never seen me work this fast because I don't work this fast. Matter of fact, I work very slow. But in record time, maybe like, I don't know, a couple hours. Nah, I'm just messing with you guys. Maybe in like an hour I can have the plugs changed and the oil changed. So let's get to it, so that way we can hop on the dyno here today. All right, we have some fresh plugs. fresh oil change. Let's go ahead and fire it on up.